Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Fake Fairytale and today I'm back with a relatively short video, and usually I post a video once a week, but this pack piqued my interest and I feel like it warrants recording an extra video about this specifically and just publishing it as soon as possible. Now, before we continue, I would please like to remind you to hit that sub notification bell and like the video if you like my content and want to stay up to date. I post new videos nearly every week, so if that's something you're interested in, please do feel free to follow. Now, the reason I was recording this video is this Moulk's Simple Shadow Shapes. And it was brought to my attention, and well, you know how I always rant about shadows and how important they are, and I spent a significant amount of my time on a map to apply all the shadows that we need, and I do that with shadow paths. But I realized that might not be for everyone, and especially if you want to make a map quick and dirty or just don't want to spend too much time applying shadows and want to move on to your next project, I think this really does the trick for you. It has a variety of assets that you can see right here on screen. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. There we go. You have different opacities and you have different shapes, and including two types of paths that you can use and just drop on top of on objects, everything that you have on the map. So here's a sort of an example over here on how that would look like and how you could achieve the same results as he does. And I think this is genius. I tried it out myself and I will dive into that in just a minute. I've recorded two videos, one in which I apply shadows my own way, using shadow paths and just trace all of the objects in the map. And the other one that I use, well, these objects. And the difference in, well, the time spent on doing either of them is significant, and the result is actually quite close. And potentially one could say that the simple shadows are even better. So with the shadow shapes that you have in here, you can build all these kind of objects and make sure that everything has its own shadow. And it's just a matter of clicking a few times. So even if you would do like a case like this, this is basically, let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then some. So let's say 12 or 13 shadows. And instead of just placing all the shadow paths, tracing and making sure that there's no artifacting, you just do this and you're done in just a sec. Now, and in order to show you guys what that looks like, let me just quickly switch to the videos. All right, and here we are. As you can see on the left hand side, I'm working with the easy shadows, and on the right hand side, we're working with the complex shadows, which is basically just doing everything with the shadow path. I've created a simple setup where you can test a few things, like a simple table, some bed bunks, and some piece of nature. And I just went ahead and just try to shadow them the regular way, like how I do with my shadow paths, placing everything down, trying to make everything look good. And on the left hand side, I just use the easy shadows. And as you may already notice, the easy shadows are significantly faster. And by the end of the video, which is right now, yes, there we go, I finished the whole piece in about 45 seconds. And it looks perfectly fine. You don't see any weird artifacting, you don't see the shadows overlap if you're a bit careful, and it just looks very well. You could publish that, you could place that in a map, and it would look really, good. And now on the right hand side, I'm close to finishing up right there, and the same piece cost me about 1 minute and 9 seconds. So using the easy shadows is about 35% faster, and well, on a small project like this, that might not seem very much, but I can spend hours and hours on larger projects, so that would save you potentially hours on work in order to make the map look finished. And the important thing I think here is that in the end you'd be a bit more flexible when using the complex shadowing, especially if you want to shade objects themselves. So what I did on the right hand side is I placed some shadows down on the top of the rock at the bottom, which is on top of the object itself, and that would be kind of hard to look good when you use the easy shadow objects. So for those kind of things you can use complex shadows, but in the end I probably guess you would use a hybrid of the two and just mix and match wherever you want to. But for larger projects, easy shadows would win for me for sure. Also because a lot of people are not going to zoom in that much on your map that they're going to notice every tiny detail. And I think, especially if you want to do it for your own table, you're not even publishing it on a Patreon or anything, it would definitely be better to use the easy shadows because it's going to save you so much time in the end. Now, that's the video. I'll link to Moulk Shadow Pack in the description of this video. Do notice that the pack is for free, so you can just download this off of Cartography Assets and use it at your own leisure. So I would like to thank you guys for watching. And again, if you liked the video, please hit the like, favorite and subscribe button. And I would like to leave you with one question, and that is something that's been bothering me for a while. Why is the plural of moose not mooses?